I don't know, Sam, if you've got this story. It's breaking news, and I've got it right here. Apparently, Metro Nashville School Board, they've asked for an infusion of cash. $10 to $15 million is what they're asking for. So I don't know if maybe we need to get Jeremy Finley on the phone. But apparently this $10 to $15 million that they're looking for, this infusion of cash, I think it's apparently because Dr. Adrian Battle is demanding that solid gold toilet for her private bathroom that they just installed.
I thought you were going to tell me that she just clogged the one they built. And that's how much.
Well, she is full of crap.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of crap to get stuck in the pipes.
Real quickly, by the way, did you know that people are actually lining up? By the way, I was just kidding. But it would not surprise me. Like, that's the thing. It's totally believable. I could totally see the ego-driven, horrifyingly corrupt, in my opinion, Dr. Adrian Battle, the head of Metro Nashville School Board. I could totally see her demanding $15 million for a solid gold toilet. I could see that. I know you people are nodding right there onto at your radios. I'm talking about this, not nodding off, but nodding in agreement. But did you know that people are lining up to use this toilet? Did you know that?
Really?
This is from Ella Feldman, Smithsonian Magazine, because I read the highfalutin stuff. Let's see here. The fully functioning toilet satirizes wealth and interrogates what we consider sacred, they say. Whatever. They say that people are lining up. Another version of this toilet from the same series, the solid gold toilet, has a more notorious history. Also titled America and made of pure gold. It was installed in 2016 at the Guggenheim Museum, where it attracted more than 100,000 visitors who lined up to use the commode. Critics compared the work to another iconic 1917 work, Fountain, a porcelain urinal. I don't understand. So how long would you wait in line doing the I gotta pee happy dance? You know what I mean? To use a solid gold urinal. Like, would you actually do that?
No.
Mason, would you stand in line?
No.
Like, imagine you're trying to buy the ticket. People of a certain age will remember this. Sam, did you ever have to stand in line for concert tickets to like the Rolling Stones or something?
Well, funny enough, I've been to the Stones, but I did pre-purchase those tickets. But I can remember if someone didn't show up to will call, right? And you'd be waiting to see, if, at a certain point for certain things. If they weren't going to show up, you could buy the tickets.
Yeah, I remember waking up early, and then I'm going to get to business. But I remember waking up very early, and if there was a big band coming to where I used to live in California, and you'd have to, go down to Music Plus and stand in line.
Were you one of those guys with a tent?
Yeah, I would absolutely. Like when Journey came to town, I was one of those guys in a tent. Sleeping bag and all that kind of stuff.
Bearded days?
Yes, that was during the long-haired, bearded days. And yeah. And you would be lucky if you could get concert tickets, by the way.
I feel like, as men, a lot of the time we're more impressed by the place, it's the Dr. Seuss book. Oh, the places you'll go. Not the gold toilets.
Right. Well, and I can't imagine the experience of going to the bathroom is any different, whether it's a gold toilet or whether it's just like a porcelain toilet.
Yeah.
So people are just weird.
But if you're standing on the edge of the Grand Canyon, why not?
Sure. Okay. Very well, just going to move on from there. Let's see here. So I had a challenge from somebody on the super text line. Why aren't you talking about the Epstein files? Are you afraid? No, I'm not afraid. I've been talking about this all morning long. Now, ESPN, they are obsessed over this. So all of this began yesterday. And by the way, one of the other things that I thought was interesting, I'm going to play some audio from Tim Burchett because he actually, in the timeline of things, Tim Burchett actually called for all of the files to be released. Do you know who blocked Congressman Burchett's attempt to release all the files? The Democrats. This is from the Daily Mail. They say that GOP lawmakers, this is the headline, have released a trove of new emails from pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, including the financier claiming to have compromising photos of dirty Donald Trump. So, as I've mentioned a number of different times now, but dirty Donald Trump is not referring to a dirty mind. It's referring to Jeffrey Epstein saying that Donald Trump was dirty as far as his finances went. This was all in the context of Michael Cohen. When Cohen flipped on Donald Trump, that was the context. Nothing sexual in nature. So that's number one. Number two, we had Congressman John Rose on yesterday. This is audio only. We had Congressman John Rose on yesterday as all of this was breaking.
I think the Epstein thing is the total political hatchet job, a canard, if you will. Obviously, Democrats controlled everything for a good while, and the President Biden was in office for 4 years, and they had absolutely no interest in this issue. And then all of a sudden, it's the most compelling thing, the most dire thing that needs to be dealt with. If they thought that, then when they controlled all the levers of power in Washington, they could have released everything. And they released nothing, and that's because they're protecting their own and now trying to just use this as a false flag to go after President Trump.
Yeah, in false flag because, as I've been explaining, the Democrats know that they are shouldering the blame for the government shutdown, so they're trying to change the subject. I mean, one look at CNN this morning, and oh my goodness gracious, this is really one of the only things that they're covering in an extended way. Here's another one. President Trump was supposedly in the kitchen with a bunch of bikini-clad girls. And as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, well, I have too. They're called pool parties. They're called birthday parties during the summertime. They're called beach parties. In other words, this is not a thing. And by the way, you know what I also find interesting? Nowhere in any of these emails is it proven that Donald Trump did anything wrong. That's the other thing to keep in mind. The other part of this, in a December 2015 exchange, Jeffrey Epstein telling a New York Times journalist, "Would you like photos of Donald and girls in bikinis in my kitchen?" Epstein asked the journalist in an email. Now, that means that Epstein was trying to damage Donald Trump, right? He had an axe to grind with Donald Trump because Trump cut him off. And the reason why Trump cut him off is because Epstein was being the creeper that he was and trying to get girls from working at Mar-a-Lago to go work, doing those things that he did. He's offering these photos to a New York Times reporter. That tells you everything you need to know about Jeffrey Epstein trying to destroy Donald Trump, and still there's no evidence. One of the other things that the texter said, who dared me to talk about this, with all of these references to Virginia Giuffre, who has always said that Donald Trump did nothing wrong, this is how the Daily Mail reports this. The individual referenced in these emails is the late Virginia Giuffre, who repeatedly said President Trump was not involved in any wrongdoing whatsoever and could not have been friendlier to her in their limited interactions. Now, what's interesting is her name was redacted. So when these emails were released, her name was redacted. Now, my question would be, why would Virginia Giuffre's name be redacted? And I was thinking about this. I think the reason why they redacted, obviously she's dead. She committed suicide. And so I think the reason why they redacted her name is because they didn't want people to see that it was Virginia Giuffre who has, again, said that Donald Trump did nothing wrong. Another email that, I'm sorry. My bad. I'm supposed to do weather here. Sunshine through high clouds, a high of 66, feeling like 68. I'm so agitated at this story because I see exactly what they're doing. I see exactly what the Democrats are doing.
You see
and the media.
You see through their thick lies.
I do. Another email that Epstein wrote to author Michael Wolff claimed that Donald Trump knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine Maxwell to stop. Now, I'm not even sure of the context, but here's the deal. If Donald Trump suspected, oh, and by the way, one of the things that Trump has said in the past was that he had asked Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein to stop trying to hire girls away from Mar-a-Lago. So that may be the context there. But with all of this, by the way, no emails between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. And so it was an interesting timeline yesterday. CNN reports on all the emails. Democrats then released these out-of-context emails. Republicans, in turn, released a trove of 20,000 pages of additional documents. I think Republicans were like, all right, Democrats, we'll go ahead and we'll release a crap ton because, Republicans were like, Democrats are cherry picking on what they're putting out, which is exactly what they were doing. We had a couple of congressmen on the airways of WTN yesterday talking about all of this. One was Scott Desjardins, who was on talking about why the Republicans want these files to be released responsibly.
If they're hiding somebody, I don't care if it's the president. If somebody committed a crime, they need to be held accountable. And so that's not a problem. But the fact is we were releasing them in a fashion that protected people who maybe were victims in this, not necessarily people who were criminals. And my example of Monica Lewinsky was not just a smart remark. There are probably 17, 16-year-old girls that went there, made poor decisions, and don't necessarily want their lives of that particular time splashed all over the world for their young children, husbands, and whatnot to see. So, just doing a big file dump for the general public is not really necessary, but criminal activity should be prosecuted.
Yeah, and Scott Desjardins is absolutely right. I think he was on with Murphy Show. He was on with Murphy Show yesterday. And he had said earlier, you heard him invoke the name Monica Lewinsky, where he doesn't want to see lives ruined by all of this. And that's the point. He says he doesn't want these women, to be Monica Lewinsky'd. In other words, where their lives are ruined by the exposure. And so the obvious, Democrats had 3 elections to try and destroy Donald Trump with all of this. And when he ran against Hillary Clinton, when he ran against Joe Biden, and that second time when he ran against Biden and Kamala Harris, they didn't bring anything up. It's only now that they're trying to politicize it. They don't give a crap about the victims. And worse than that, by the way, the Democrats are trying to frame this in a way that accuses Donald Trump of doing nefarious things when the victims themselves have said that Donald Trump did nothing wrong. We've had 2, at least 2. Maybe there's been more. Virginia Giuffre said Trump did nothing wrong. And by the way, Virginia Giuffre, she is the face of this whole thing as far as the victims go. But there were other victims that have also come out and said that Trump didn't do anything wrong. And you know what the thing is? The Democrats know darn right well that Trump didn't do anything wrong, but they are trying to frame, this is how nefarious and vile the Democrats are. And by the way, this is why you need to vote in the election for the 7th. Because we don't want to give up a House seat to the vile Democrats. We don't want to give up a House seat to someone like Afton Bain, who is one of those kinds of people, one of those Democrats that would out there accuse, although I don't know if she has, but I'm just saying that it's her party that is accusing Donald Trump of being a predator when there's no evidence to support that. So if you have any reservations about going out and not, if you're having any reservations about going and voting for the 7th, don't. You've got to vote for Matt Van Epps for the 7th. So Tim Burchett, as all of this was going on, he goes out there and he filed a request saying that, you know what? I want everything released. And he did. Tim Burchett is all about the congressman. He is all about transparency. And so he came out and he said, listen, I've just filed a motion to have all of these released.
Hey, everybody, Tim Burchett just left the House floor, and I tried to do UC unanimous consent of tried to get the Epstein files, get it straight to the floor, just to cut out all this nonsense, and and the Democrats blocked it, oddly enough. Now here they've had it for 4 years, and they obviously if there's something there about Trump, they would have released it, and now they're all, let's get it out. Well, I just made a motion to bring it straight to the dadgum floor, and they blocked it. So this is politics. It has nothing to do with what's doing what's right, and it's Washington, D.C. to a T. And again, they ought to be ashamed of themselves, but they're probably not. Thank y'all for sending me here.
All right, so that is Congressman Tim Burchett, never at a loss for words. And so now the discharge petition has been filed, and it'll be voted on by the full House in 7 days. The House version stands on its own, but for it to actually become a law, it would have to go through the Senate. The Senate has their own mechanism or procedure for doing this type of thing. But Republicans, and we've been talking about this, Republicans haven't really said if they'll take this issue up in the Senate. And ultimately, this whole thing, it's non-binding. The Department of Justice can come out, and the Department of Justice can just say, listen, this is an ongoing investigation, and we're not going to release this stuff. Bottom line, I think that they ought to release everything, especially if there's nothing, if Trump didn't do anything, and they're accusing Donald Trump of doing something, then release it. But, not to belabor the point, but you've got to release it responsibly. And let's head right back to the News Traffic Center and find out, we got some breaking traffic, Sam?
Yeah, Smoky Barn News reports in Robertson County, a traffic alert in White House, overturned dump truck at 111 Meadows Road in front of White House High School. Going to back some things up this morning. Driver was injured, but injuries are non-life-threatening. It's just going to take a minute to clean that up. It hasn't even popped up on the traffic map yet.
Okay, so nobody was seriously injured. Nobody was killed.
Correct, but it's right in front of the high school in White House.
So I can make this joke.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Why do these senior pranks get so out of hand?
That might be the joke of the week.
See, that's a comedy that I bring to this show, Chris.
Well, that's the intentional comedy. Your comedy in the 5 o'clock hour was impeccable.
Why are you still talking? I'm just kidding. Oh, wait, were you going to say my comedy was good?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I said that
Keep
was
talking.
the joke of the week.
No, Sam, stop talking. He doesn't.
No. He was
He hates
actually paying me a compliment for a change.
He actually doesn't like these.
It was a great joke.
I was
especially considering it was intentional.
I was on a roll in the 5 o'clock hour. I stuck. By the way, Chris Hand is here for the crisscross handoff.
I just want to officially go on the record and let everybody know I, too, miss Joan.
It's cool.
You know what? I think that's what it is. This is no offense to you, Sam.
Too many Y chromosomes.
I've been off kilter like all morning.
Just a little bit.
And I think.
What? You don't like?
Mason, you're supposed to say, no, Dan, you've sounded great this morning.
I mean, you have.
Not. Anyway, but.
You're just over here Joan Jonesing?
Yes, I'm Joan Jonesing. Did you just make that up yourself?
I did.
Although I think it might be unprofessional and slightly awkward and kind of Me Too-ish to say that I'm jonesing for Jones.
I didn't want to call her out on this yesterday. Is it really camping if you're in an RV?
That's glamping.
Or is it just a hotel on wheels?
Some people use that as an actual full-time home.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's camping. I've never driven around in an RV. Have you ever been in an RV?
Yeah, I've been in one.
So
I haven't driven in one.
You don't strike me as the camping type.
No. My boys really like it, so I'll do that for them. But after they're grown and they've moved on to other interests, I'm out. I would like an RV, though.
I went to a Marriott one time.
I stayed at a La Quinta, actually.
So what were you saying? You did what?
I would get an RV. I would drive around in an RV all day.
Would you?
Yeah. Because then I wouldn't have to stop. See, this is the thing. I have 4 kids. So every so often, every few miles, somebody's got to do something.
Isn't that annoying?
You eventually have to empty that tank.
Bathrooms in the back, guys.
Or here's a cup.
We have gone down the Gatorade route before.
Yeah?
A lot easier with the boys.
Oh, it sure is. I don't know how women do it, to be honest with you. You know, they have things that you can sell for. I actually learned this on the radio. They have things that you can sell I guess, specifically for women if they need to go to the bathroom in the vehicle.
It's a bit of a spout, if you will.
They call them camping buddies or something.
I don't know.
Been around for a minute.
It channels the liquid in a certain direction.
Amy calls that Mother Nature sexism, by the way. Because, what are you doing?
I was just scratching my beard.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought... I thought
I wasn't giving you any signs.
For you people listening on the radio, Chris is like scratching the front of his beard. And I'm like, what?
No. It wasn't like I rubbed my beard once because I had a little itch.
I thought you were giving him a third base sign.
I thought I was supposed to bunt.
Okay. Hey, are you going to be able to go to Starbucks today in between the show and recording of the podcast?
Yes, I will go to Starbucks.
Because a lot of the employees are striking today.
Only in the godforsaken cities like Philadelphia and New Jersey, places like where Joan's from.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you got a lot.
You know what we could do? We could start hating on Joan because she's not here to defend herself. We love Joan.
She'll call in.
So I don't think she will. She's actually off enjoying herself.
Yeah, she's not like Murphy, where if you say his name 3 times.
No, we love when Murphy Show calls in.
Oh yeah, of course, but it still happens.
Yeah, but no, I will not be. I will be going to Starbucks because. And by the way, just so you people know, all you Starbucks haters.
You people.
Yeah, what do you mean?
What do you mean by you people?
You people that always hate on me for going to Starbucks. Do you know what I love? Oftentimes I go to Starbucks and people say, I go to Starbucks too. And when everybody bags on you for going to Starbucks, we have our own little relationship, me and the listeners that also go to Starbucks. And we just give that knowing nod to each other when I see them at the Starbucks.
Okay. That's good. Can you show us what the knowing nod looks like for the people on the stream?
Hold on, you wonder why Matt Murphy dubbed your package for contours the effeminate one.
Oh.
Okay, I don't want Matt Murphy talking about my package. That's first of all.
Number one.
Number one.
Number two.
I really can't go any further. It'll be great.
The In-N-Out in Murfreesboro has the logo up.
Ooh.
Does it?
Oh, it looks good, man. And the one in Antioch, too.
Yeah.
Did you know that they were putting one in Antioch? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
Soon to be riddled with bullet holes.
Do you know what? In-N-Out left. I would tell you people in Antioch. There I go with you people again. I would remind you people in Antioch.
That one gets a little dicier. It starts getting dicey.
And you people in Memphis, because I know you listen.
Oh,
they packed up and left Oakland.
Yep.
They packed up because they were like, our employees are unsafe and our customers are unsafe. So we're leaving. And they actually left. So Antioch, you better behave yourselves.
Best behavior.
I mean, Memphis is, you know what? Memphis is doing a lot better now. Yeah.
They've had some help.
They've had some help.
And they're looking for more funding for future help. Keep some things permanent.
I mean, I'd be for that. Would you be for that? Memphis getting some extra money to not kill other people?
To a certain extent, yeah.
If we could only save one life.
If it only saves one life.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, the Democrats will still be mad about that. But then you run into an issue where it's like they'll be getting so much federal money and funding that they'll have a hard time wanting to solve the crime because then you turn off the federal money.
Hey, by the way, Valerie says, I have a Starbucks gift card I will never use. Where could I send this to? Dan at WTN.
10 Music City, Circle East.
I was going to say, Dan, what's your address?
Yeah, Dan, what's your address? In case I want to put a thick Christmas inflatable
all
on
right,
your front yard.
so clearly they want me to revisit the conversation about
they've been
thick.
And I want to let you know, they've been dropping quotables on the text. We have a group text, me and the guys, where you're not on it.
Oh my God, you guys are group texting about me behind my back?
Something a Starbucks drinker would worry about.
I oftentimes say, you guys need to tell Dan this yourself. I can't be the liaison between you and Dan.
So we're talking about Jasmine Crockett. And
what's this wee business?
And she was in the 5 o'clock hour. And
because that wakes people up.
And we're having fun.
Yeah.
Because she's talking about how Republican women have a certain look, about like lip fillers and all that kind of stuff.
MAGA women.
And so I was just sort of like, okay, so Jasmine Crockett is not one to talk about Republican women because she's kind of thick.
It's true.
And what I meant by that, it's not disparaging. I just,
like you have a hard time going at people about their looks.
yeah.
You should.
Yeah, you should. You've
work on you.
Work on you. That's exactly right. Because she's thick. Now these two knuckleheads, love of all that is holy. So these two guys, and by the way, I'm going to get kicked off YouTube. Pull that
Hey, it was
down.
only 5 seconds. We're good.
So these guys let me say
Go
that
on and on and on.
she was thick, and I had no idea that to the younger generation, that means that you actually find said person attractive.
It's spelled with a second C instead of a K.
Yeah, it's THICC instead of THICK.
So if I go home today and I say to Amy, "Hey, I thick you,"
I
Not
think
like that.
you. I wouldn't go that route.
I wouldn't.
I don't know.
Here's
What then? Am I
Listen,
supposed to say, "Boy, I
if
thick
you have
Amy"?
if you have
None
to
of this makes sense.
if you have to explain your compliments like you explain your jokes, it's probably not a good idea.
I think
It's
Amy
probably
is wild.
I would refrain from doing it, Dan. This is
If
not
he
a-
says that, he won't have any trouble refraining from doing it.
I don't want to be discussing this with the guys on the group chat later.
Whatever.
It's more if you were to go home and say, "Damn girl, you thick."
Okay, Amy's lost like 165 pounds. So if I said that to my wife, she would hit me with an iron.
It's abuse.
Please say it and please have her record that.
No.
That's abuse, Dan.
Actually-
Fire iron, tire iron, or 9 iron. I'm here for it.
It would be
Hold on.
she's got an ironing, ironing board kind of a thing.
The iron.
The iron.
Oof.
Yeah. You guys ever been threatened with an iron before by a significant other?
Never
Is-
been threatened by my significant other ever.
Oh,
There's still time.
you haven't lived.
They're veiled threats.
we ought to
Not
do in
real.
our podcast. We should talk because we're going to record it today. As men,
Men.
what have
men,
we been
men,
threatened
men,
by
men,
by
men.
our girlfriends or significant others? What have we? What if? Because I've been threatened with a hot iron before.
I don't really want to go down that road.
That's
Are you
barbaric.
sure?
I like my relationship with my wife.
Well, this was not wife number one, but this was a past relationship
Okay.
many years ago. This was actually before wife number one, and so there was that.
I don't think I've ever been threatened with violence like that, but I did have an ex-girlfriend who we broke up and she took everything out of my house.
Oh, really?
Like all of the silverware, which was mine. What? She took all the towels. Didn't find out until after I got out of the shower.
Wow.
I had one hand towel left. And here's the thing that still, to this day, makes me pretty irate about that. Sure, some of the towels, take them. The Batman towel that I had since I was 6 years old, you
Wow.
knew that wasn't yours.
That's
Whoa,
not
whoa.
cool.
You knew that wasn't yours.
That's when stuff gets personal.
Yeah, it
She
was-
doesn't want the Batman towel. She wants to hurt you and your inner child. And clearly that inner child needs some therapy.
I do.
Okay.
That's the day that Chris stopped loving movies.
That's the day it all went downhill.
That's the day when Chris put away the Batman cape and finally just decided to become an adult. Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe.
All right.
So what are we going to talk about on the podcast today?
Apparently not that.
No,
I'm trying to bring some fun content.
okay.
How we've been threatened physically by our exes.
Dan always goes to threats. Like he's like, "Hey, let's do an episode about how I've been threatened by the listeners. Let's do an episode about how I've been threatened by my exes."
I got a guy that called me an idiot today on the super text line. He said, "Hey, idiot,
Oh, that's not nice.
how do you know Donald Trump didn't know about all of the, hijinks and shenanigans of Jeffrey Epstein?" And I'm paraphrasing. And I said, "Well, he did because I don't know what he knew, but he's the only one that cooperated in the investigation."
Right.
And he called
Bradley Edwards.
Yeah, he called Jeffrey Epstein a creeper, and
He was
I-
calling it out. He was calling it out before he was even elected president. He's like,
Yeah.
I think that Prince is going to have some issues, and Bill Clinton's going to have some issues from that island.
Yeah, that's right. So, I mean, this whole thing with the Epstein emails is so ridiculous.
Well, and the GOP is the ones that released the emails.
20,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's
So,
the thing.
yeah, well, yeah.
The Democrats are using that to get away from the shutdown
Right.
mess
That's
up,
what I've been
obviously.
saying. Absolutely.
But isn't it so weird how they don't use something like the H-1B stuff, which the MAGA base is in an uproar over? And it leads people to go, there is the uniparty.
Yeah.
Because you have something that you really could use.
Yeah.
And you're choosing not to because uniparty things.
I think the Democrats, because you're right. I saw on CNN earlier, then we got to go, but I saw on CNN earlier that they've got this polling that shows that overwhelmingly the American people blame the Republicans for the shutdown. I don't believe that because their own network is nearly wall-to-wall on Epstein.
Yep.
They would be wall-to-wall on the shutdown if they could pin it on the Republicans.
I don't know. I believe all the polls. My favorite, my favorite was the one that said Kamala was going to win.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Or what was it? Was it Iowa?
Where
that poll
Des Moines.
came, Des Moines,
the
Des Moines Register.
Yep.
All right.
And something, right? Is it Ann Selter? Am I making that up?
Yes.
I might be making that up.
I think you are. Hey, real quick, your official talk show host opinion on the penny.
I love it. And I think
you love that they're eliminating the penny?
No, I'm sad that they're eliminating the penny. I love the penny. It breaks my heart.
If I find a penny, I'm going to give it to you.
Please. I'm going to be collecting all the pennies.
We're gonna. You know what we need to do? We need to have a station event where people just bring in their pennies for Chris Hand.
Let's do it.
I'll take the Starbucks gift cards, and you'll take the pennies.
Hand him your pennies.
All we have to do is wait some time, and those pennies will be worth more.
I think you'll be long gone before before those pennies are actually worth a lot more.
Well,
we have too many pennies as is.
I got to have something to leave the kids.
Working radio, that's all you have is pennies.